5 years DOSH. Shishir Kumar Chaudhary RO flat number SRA 11C, Shipra Riviera Gyan Khand 3, Indirapuram Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. Present place of posting, GGSS, Harsh Vihar, New Delhi School ID, 11062556 Guest Teacher ID, 2014037105 TGT Social Science. By Advocate, Mr. Tarun Kumar with Mr. Shanmuga Patrom. Versus 1. Government of NCT of Delhi through Chief Secretary. New Secretariat Building, IP. Estate New Delhi. 2. The Directorate of Education Government of NCT of Delhi Old Secretariat, Delhi 110,054. OE No. 1398-2018. Reserved on 509.2024 pronounced on 17.09.2024. Applicant. Respondents. By Advocate, Mr. Rohit Bhagat for Mr. Saurabh Chadha. Indian Kanun, http://indiankanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. 1. Item number 28, C5. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. OE No. 1398-2018. 2. Order. Onbal Drive, Anand S. Katti, Member A. By virtue of the present OA, the applicant has challenged the order dated the 12th of March 2018 passed by the respondent number 2, pursuant to the order passed by this tribunal in OA. No. 4165/2017 which was disposed of with a direction to the respondents to decide the representation dated the 29th of November 2016 of the applicant by passing a speaking in reasoned order. 2. In brief, the background of the case is that the applicant is presently working as guest teacher, TGT Social Science. She was initially appointed as guest teacher, PGT Economics, on the 15th of October 2012 and thereafter from 2013 onwards, she is working as TGT Social Science, though with short breaks. It is submitted that the applicant has been employed as a guest teacher against the sanctioned post advertised in newspaper through a regular process of selection. She is being paid remuneration calculated on per day basis, which is presently 1,403 rupees per day, and not paid for vacations and holidays, whereas the teachers appointed under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, SSA, following the same recruitment process, are being paid on monthly basis. She made several representations for payment of salary to the guest teachers on the principle of equal pay for equal work, citing decision of the Honorable Supreme Court in State of Punjab and Oz. V.S. Jagjit Singh and Oz, dated the 26th of October 2016. Since the representations were not decided by the respondents, she filed OA. Item number 28, C5 No 2064-2017 and the same was disposed of with a order dated the 2nd of June 2017 with a direction to the respondents to decide representation her dated the 29th of November 2016. However, the respondents with a order dated the 6th of October 2017 rejected her representation without citing any reason, as directed by the tribunal. Being aggrieved, she filed another OA. No. 4165/2017 which was disposed of at the admission stage, with a order dated the 29th of November 2017 by directing the respondents to reconsider the representation dated the 29th of November 2016, keeping in view the relief claimed in OA. No. 2064/2017 by passing a fresh reasoned and speaking order within 60 days. Again the respondents by passing the order dated 12.03.2018, which is impugned herein, disposed of her representation, which reads as under. Directorate of Education EV Branch, Government of NCT of Delhi Room Number 116, Old PATRACHAR Vidyalaya Building, Timarpur, Delhi -110,054. Phone No 23973681 No F18.2, 28 AV, 08 2064 2017-18 1460-82 dated, the 12th of March 18 Order. 1. Whereas, Honorable CAT Principal Bench New Delhi in OE No 4165 2017 titled as Aditi Kumari vs GNCT of Delhi and was decided on the 29th of November 2017 as under. In the circumstances, the OA is disposed of at the admission stage itself, without going into the other merits of the case, by directing the respondents to reconsider the representation dated the 29th of November 2016 of the applicant, keeping in view the relief claimed in Indian Qanun, http://indianqanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. 2. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. The OA No 2064-2017 and to pass fresh reasoned and speaking order, within 60 days from the date of receipt of a copy of this order. No order as to costs. 2. Whereas, applicant Aditi Kumari submitted her representation dated the 29th of November 2016 to the Directorate of Education, she has requested as under. Item number 28, C5A. While considering the above noted claim of equal work for equal salary, all other benefits such as paid leave, salary for the period schools remain closed in vacations, medical facility etc., as applicable to permanent teachers should also be given to the guest teacher by following the true spirit of the constitutional provisions. B. To consider the provision of the Maternity Benefit Act 1961 and provide maternity leave to the guest teachers as per the provision of the said Act is decided by Honorable Supreme Court in the decision reported as A 2000 SC 1274 Municipal Corporation of Delhi vs. Female Workers, Muster Roll. 3. Whereas, Directorate of Education has been engaging guest teachers from 2010 including retired government teachers as a stop-gap arrangement against regular posts lying vacant pending finalization of direct recruitment by DSSSB or short-term vacancies caused due to child care leave, CCL, maternity leave, etc., in the academic interest of the students. As per the terms and conditions, these engagements are purely on daily wages basis. The teacher posts against which guest teachers are engaged every year cover AST. Teachers, nursery and primary, who teach up to class 5, trained graduate teachers, TGTs, for class 6 to X, postgraduate teachers, PGTs, lecturers, who take senior secondary classes namely 11 and 12 and miscellaneous category teachers namely librarian, drawing teacher, physical education teacher, music teacher, special education teacher, educational and vocational and guidance counselors, EVGC. As per Right to Education Act, RTE, and rules made thereunder, passing of Central Teacher Eligibility Test, CTET, is mandatory for the post of AST. Teacher primary and trained graduate teachers and accordingly this qualification has been made essential in the recruitment rules, RRs, for these posts. 4. Whereas, the Honorable LG, NCT of Delhi has approved the revision in the rates of remuneration of guest teachers engaged in the schools under Directorate of Education with immediate effect i.e. 1 March 2017 as indicated in the following table subject to the conditions listed thereunder. SR. Name of the post previous revised daily no daily rate of remuneration in hours. In hours. 1. PGT Inkal. EVGCs 900 rupees. 1445. 2. TGT with CTET 800 rupees. 1403. 3. TGT without CTET 800 rupees. 1050. Indian Qanun, http://indianqanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. http://indianqanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. 3. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. 4. PRT with CTET 700 rupees. 1364. 5. PRT without CTET 700 rupees. 1000. 6. Miscellaneous, teacher i.e. 800 1050 rupees per. Music, drawing, pet, domestic, home, science, librarian etc. 7. Nursery teacher 700 rupees. 1000. Item number 28, C5. The enhanced remuneration shall be payable only on daily basis of actual attendance. Guest teachers are not entitled to any other allowances except the daily rate of remuneration. During summer vacation and other school vacation, the remuneration of guest teachers may be paid in proportion to the number of days they are actually deployed. 5. Whereas, provision of the Maternity Benefits Act 1961 and Maternity Benefits Amendment Act 2017 have been implemented in Directorate of Education to guest teachers Vide Order No. 0.18.2, 15, EV, 2017-917-926 dated the 23rd of November 2017, copy enclosed. 6. Now, therefore, after having considered the entire facts and circumstances of the case, the competent authority is of the considered opinion that the representation dated the 29th of November 2017 has been considered sympathetically as explained in foregoing paras. The minimum of the pay scales have been implemented, provisions of benefits under the Maternity Benefits Act 1961 and Maternity Benefits Amendment Act 2017 to guest teachers working in Directorate of Education have been granted. This issues with the approval of the competent authority. Ordered accordingly. S.D. Hari Prasad, Assistant Director of Education Establishment We Know F 18.2, 28, AV, 08 2064 2017-18 1480-82 dated, the 12th of March 18 to Ms. Aditi Kumari, R.O. Flat Number. SRA 11, C. Shipra Riviera, Gyankhand, 3 Indirapuram, Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. 3. Learned Counsel for the applicant specifically drew our attention to Para 6 of the above order, which has been passed pursuant to the directions of this tribunal in OA. Number 4165, 2017, wherein it has been mentioned that the minimum of the pay scales item number 28, C5 have been implemented. However, it is stated that the respondents have not accorded the minimum of the pay scale to the applicant. 4. The learned counsel for the applicant argued that in Para 2 of the appointment letter dated the 26th of August 2014, there is a condition that the applicant cannot approach the court of claim of salary, allowances, facilities and other benefits accruing to the regular teachers and for regularization. He also drew our attention to the Indian Qanun, http://indianqanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. 4. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. Comparative chart of salary paid to guest teachers, ACSI teachers and regular teachers, which reads as under. Guest teacher TGT ACSI teachers regular teachers TGT 1403 rupees per day 38,100 rupees per month 44,900 rupees, basic pay, 7% DA 10,776 rupees HRA 3,600 rupees per month plus DA is transport allowances Rs. 2250 children education allowances etc. per month. He further argued that the applicant is entitled to the basic pay plus DA and other allowances given to regularly selected teachers. The impugned order has been passed by the respondents without application of mind and without assigning any reasons, in violation of the settled principle of equal pay for equal work, and the same is liable to be dismissed. 5. In support of his contention, the learned counsel for the applicant has relied upon the following decisions. Item number 28, C5. I. Decision rendered by the Honorable Apex Court in the matter of State of Punjab and Oz, vs Jagjit Singh and Oz, 2017-1, S.C. C. 148. The relevant paras of the said decision read as under. 57. There is no room for any doubt that the principle of equal pay for equal work has emerged from an interpretation of different provisions of the Constitution. The principle has been expounded through a large number of judgments rendered by this court, and constitutes law declared by this court. The same is binding on all the courts in India, under Article 141 of the Constitution of India. The parameters of the principle have been summarized by us in paragraph 42 hereinabove. The principle of equal pay for equal work has also been extended to temporary employees, differently described as work charge, daily wage, casual, ad hoc, contractual, and the like. The legal position relating to temporary employees has been summarized by U.S. in paragraph 44 hereinabove. The above legal position, which has been repeatedly declared, is being reiterated by U.S. yet again. 58. In our considered view, it is fallacious to determine artificial parameters to deny fruits of labor. An employee engaged for the same work cannot be paid less than another who performs the same duties and responsibilities. Certainly not in a welfare state. Such an action, besides being demeaning, strikes at the very foundation of human dignity. Anyone who is compelled to work at a lesser wage does not do so voluntarily. He does so to provide food and shelter to his family, at the cost of his self-respect and dignity, at the cost of his self-worth, and at the cost of his integrity. For he knows that his dependents would suffer immensely if he does not accept the lesser wage. Any act of paying less wages, as compared to others similarly situate, constitutes an act of exploitative enslavement, emerging out of a domineering. 5. Indian Qanun, http://indianqanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. Position. Undoubtedly, the action is oppressive, suppressive and coercive, as it compels involuntary subjugation. 59. We would also like to extract herein Article 7 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, 1966. The same is reproduced below. Article 7. The states parties to the present covenant recognize the right of everyone to the enjoyment of just and favorable conditions of work which ensure, in particular, a remuneration which provides all workers, as a minimum, with fair wages and equal remuneration for work of equal value without distinction of any kind, in particular women being guaranteed conditions of work not inferior to those enjoyed by men, with equal pay for equal work. Item number 28, C5. A decent living for themselves and their families in accordance with the provisions of the present covenant. B. Safe and healthy working conditions. C. Equal opportunity for everyone to be promoted in his employment to an appropriate higher level, subject to no considerations other than those of seniority and competence. D. Rest, leisure and reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay, as well as remuneration for public holidays. India is a signatory to the above covenant, having ratified the same on 10.4.1979. There is no escape from the above obligation, in view of different provisions of the Constitution referred to above, and in view of the law declared by this court under Article 141 of the Constitution of India. The principle of equal pay for equal work constitutes a clear and unambiguous right and is vested in every employee, whether engaged on regular or temporary basis. 60. Having traversed the legal parameters with reference to the application of the principle of equal pay for equal work, in relation to temporary employees, daily wage employees, ad hoc appointees, employees appointed on casual basis, contractual employees and the like, the sole factor that requires our determination is whether the concerned employees, before this court, were rendering similar duties and responsibilities, as were being discharged by regular employees, holding the same, corresponding posts. This exercise would require the application of the parameters of the principle of equal pay for equal work, summarized by us in paragraph 42 above. However, insofar as the instant aspect of the matter is concerned, it is not difficult for us to record the factual position. We say so, because it was fairly acknowledged by the learned counsel representing the state of Punjab, that all the temporary employees in the present bunch of appeals were appointed against Indian Qanun, http://indianqanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. 6. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. Posts which were also available in the regular cadre establishment. It was also accepted that during the course of their employment, the concerned temporary employees were being randomly deputed to discharge duties and responsibilities, which at some point in time, were assigned to regular employees. Likewise, regular employees holding substantive posts were also posted to discharge the same work, which was assigned to temporary employees, from time to time. There is, therefore, no room for any doubt that the duties and responsibilities discharged by the temporary employees in the present set of appeals were the same as were being discharged by regular employees. It is not the case of the appellants that the respondent employees did not possess the qualifications prescribed for appointment on regular basis. Furthermore, it is not the case of the state that any of the temporary employees would not be entitled to pay parity on any of the principles summarized by us in paragraph 42 herein above. Item number 28, C5. There can be no doubt that the principle of equal pay for equal work would be applicable to all the concerned temporary employees, so as to vest in them the right to claim wages at par with the minimum of the pay scale of regularly engaged government employees holding the same post. Decision dated the 5th of October 2023 of the Honorable High Court of Delhi in Sita Mundu and ANR vs All India Institute of Medical Sciences in WP. C. number 6282, 2016, wherein it has been held as under. 16. In view of the discussion above, the present petition is allowed. The order of the tribunal is set aside. 17. The respondent is directed to pay the salary in the minimum of the pay scale of the post along with dearness allowance to the petitioners W.A.F. September 19, 2013, that is, from the date of filing of the OA, but without interest. The order shall be complied within 3 months. No costs. In view of above, he contended that the applicant should be entitled for the salary at minimum of the pay scale of the post along with dearness allowance from the date of filing of the OA. 6. Opposing the grant of relief to the applicant, the learned counsel for the respondents relied upon the averments made in the counter affidavit and submitted that the terms and conditions stipulated in the appointment letter dated the 26th of August 2014, Annexure A. 8 are explicit and clear. He referred to paras 2 and 5 of the said letter, which read as under. 2. That no claim for salary, allowances, facilities and other benefits accruing to the regular teachers shall be made and you shall not file any court case regarding salary in regularization etc. Item number 28, C5XXXXXXXXXXXXX. 5. The rates of remuneration payable to you will be daily based at the rates approved by Finance Department with AUO number 54, DS3 dated the 19th of June 2013. You will not be entitled for any remuneration on holidays, on days of absence, and on days of non. Indian Qanun, http://indianqanun.org/ http://indianqanun.org/doc/10088-2034/. 7. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. Engagement. 7. Learned counsel for the respondents further relied upon para 52 of the decision rendered in the matter of State of Punjab and Oz vs. Jagjit Singh and Oz, Supra, which reads as under. 52. The impugned judgment rendered by the full bench also relied upon the judgment in Satya Prakash vs. State of Bihar, 2010, 4 S. C. C. 179, which also attempted to interpret the judgment in the Secretary, State of Karnataka vs. Umadevi's case. Learned Counsel for the State of Punjab also referred to the same, to canvass the case of the state government. Relevant observations relied upon are reproduced below, paras 7 to 9n. 15. 7. We are of the view that the appellants are not entitled to get the benefit of regularization of their services since they were never appointed in any sanctioned posts. The appellants were only engaged on daily wages in the Bihar Intermediate Education Council. 8. In State of Karnataka vs. Umadevi, 3-2006-4, S.C. C. 1. This court held that the courts are not expected to issue any direction for absorption, regularization or permanent continuance of temporary, contractual, casual, daily wage or ad hoc employees. This court held that such directions issued could not be said to be inconsistent with the constitutional scheme of public employment. This court held that merely because a temporary employee or a casual wage worker has continued for a time beyond the term of his appointment, he would not be entitled to be absorbed in regular service or made permanent, merely on the strength of such continuance, if the original appointment was not made by following a due process of selection as envisaged by the relevant rules. In view of the law laid down by this court, the directions sought for by the appellants cannot be granted. 9. Paragraph 53 of Umadevi, 3, Judgment, deals with irregular appointments, not illegal appointments. The Constitution Bench specifically referred to the judgments in State of Mysore vs. S.V. Narenappa, A. 1967 SC 1071, and R.N. Item number 28, C5 Nanjundappa vs. T. Thimia, 1972-1, S.C. C. 409, in Para 15 of Umadevi, 3, Judgment as well. Let us refer to Paras 15 and 16 of Umadevi, 3, Judgment in this context. XXXXXXXXX. 15. In our view, the appellants herein would fall under the category of persons mentioned in Paras 8 and 55 of the judgment and not in Para 53 of Judgment of Umadevi, 3. Indian Kanun, http://indiankanun.org/doc/10088234/. 8. Aditi Kumari vs. Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. And averred that as per the principles laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court, the claimant has to be appointed through an open process of recruitment for the purpose of seeking benefit of regular pay scale, whereas the merit list for selection of guest teachers through which the applicant was appointed was prepared at district level and not a common merit list and, hence, cannot be said to have been done on the basis of regular process of recruitment. 8. He further averred that in compliance of the directions of this tribunal, the representation dated the 29th of November 2016 of the applicant was disposed of by passing a detailed order dated 12.03.2018, whereby it is conveyed that the Honorable LG, NCT of Delhi has not only approved revision in the rates of remuneration of guest teachers engaged under Respondent number 2 but also remuneration during summer vacation and other school vacations was allowed in proportion to the number of days they are actually deployed, and provision of maternity benefits has been implemented with a order dated the 23rd of November 2017. Item number 28, C5. 9. Heard the learned counsel for the respective parties and perused the pleadings, judgments on record. 10. After considering the rival submissions of both sides, it reveals that the crux of the present case lies in the interpretation of the words, minimum of the pay scale, as narrated in the impugned order as to whether it is to be construed to mean that it is paid at the minimum entry level of teacher for the respective category or it is to be interpreted to mean that it is daily rates of remuneration. 11. This is the third round of litigation. It is undisputed that the applicant was appointed as guest teacher on contractual basis and it was clearly mentioned in the appointment order that she would not be entitled for any regular scale of pay. The fact, however, remains that the Honorable Supreme Court examined the issue pertaining to the emoluments to be paid to the employees appointed on contractual basis in Jagjit Singh and Oz, Supra, already reproduced herein above, and in a number of cases it has been held that the employees of this nature are entitled for certain basic emoluments, representing various heads of the salary, which are otherwise payable to a regular employee. 12. Following the judgment in Jagjit Singh and Oz, Supra, Vide decision dated 7 March 2017 in WP, C. No. 1201-2016 in Vedvanti and Oz, V.S. Chief Secretary, Government of NCT of Delhi and ANR, the Honorable Delhi High Court of Delhi has held as under. Item number 28, C 5 inches 2. The petitioners herein are contractual employees, who are working on different posts in Chaudhry Brahma Prakash Engineering College, CBPEC, established by the Department of Training and Technical Education, Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi, GNCTD. The contention of the petitioners is that they are entitled to same salary and benefits as granted to other contractual employees working under the GNCTD. They are entitled to allowances like DA, HRA, leave benefits etc. Learned counsel for the petitioners has also drawn our attention to the decision of this court dated 6 November 2013 in WP, C. number 6798, 2002. Indian Kanun, http://indiankanun.org/doc/1008/2034/. 9. Aditi Kumari vs Government of NCTD on 17 September 2024. Sonia Gandhi and Oz, v. GNCT of Delhi and Oz, wherein the contractual employees, it was held, were entitled to minimum of pay, i.e., the basic pay at the induction stage, in addition to allowances, including HRA and TA. Reference is also made to the judgment dated 1 November 2013 passed in WP, C. number 2915, 2013, Chief Secretary, GNCT of Delhi and ANR, v. Satish Kumar and Oz, wherein the contractual employees were held to be entitled to benefits like DA and HRA. The question of maternity benefit has also been examined in this case. The recent decision of the Supreme Court in State of Punjab vs. Jagjit Singh, Air 2016 SC 5176, settles the issue and affirms the principle of equal pay for equal work. We also find that the issue is covered and settled by the decisions of the Delhi High Court in Victoria Massey vs. GNCT of Delhi, WP. C. number 8764, 2008, decided on the 22nd of May 2009, Rajesh Kumar Sharma and others vs. GNCT of Delhi and others, WP, C. number 3769, 2013, decided on the 4th of July 2013, NCT of Delhi and others vs. Pramod Kumar and others, WP. C. number 3676, 2011, decided on the 1st of March 2013, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Hospital represented by its medical superintendent and others vs. Mahesh Bhardwaj and others, WP. C. number 4863, 2012, decided on the 15th of February 2013, Drive. Baba Sahib Ambedkar Hospital represented by its medical superintendent and others vs. Swastika Bhakt and others, WP. C. No. 424 2013 with connected petition, decided on the 24th of May 2013. 3. In view of the aforesaid legal position, we hold that the petitioners herein would be entitled to minimum of basic pay plus grade pay plus DA plus HRA and TA. Learned counsel for the petitioners states that the other contractual employees are also being given advantage or benefit of earned leave. She relies on the order dated 1 October 2015 passed by the GNCTD whereby 2 additional benefits, i.e. 15 days earned leave in each case and maternity leave as applicable to regular employees has been granted. The respondents having passed the said orders will be bound by the same. 4. The writ petition is accordingly allowed, to the extent indicated above. The aforesaid payments would be effective item number 28, C5 from the date OA number 2558, 2014 was filed. Petitioner number 7, namely, Manoj Dabas, during the pendency of the present writ petition, had resigned from the post of worksheet instructor in CBPEC. He would be paid arrears only up to the date he had worked. Compliance would be made within a period of 8 weeks from the date a copy of this order is received. In case payments are delayed beyond 8 weeks, the petitioners will be entitled to interest at 8% p.a. from the date of this order till payments are made. 13. Similarly, in WP, C. No. 717/2015 in the case of Government of NCT of Delhi and Oz, V.S. Kamal Kant Sharma and Oz. Vide order dated the 28th of March 2017, the Honorable High Court of Delhi has observed as under. 9. In Jagjit Singh and others, Supra, the Supreme Court emphasized that right to equality implies that even the contractual employees should be paid the minimum of the amount which a regular employee would get on the post in question. This would ensure equal pay for equal work, and that the contractual employees are not paid less than what is granted to a newly recruited regular employee. The aforesaid dictum, Indian Qanun, http://indianqanun.org/doc/1008/2034/. 10. Aditi Kumari vs. Government of NCTD on the 17th of September 2024. Therefore, mandates that the contractual employee should not be paid monthly emoluments, which are less than what a newly recruited regular employee would get. If the newly recruited regular employee is entitled to entry pay in the pay band plus the grade pay, then the amount so quantified should also be taken as the minimum pay payable to the contractual employee doing the same work. This would ensure complete parity of pay scale of a contractual employee with the pay, which is payable to a regular appointed direct recruit. 10. The distinction between regular and contractual employees is drawn with regard to the annual increments which are payable to a direct recruit or promotee over and above his initial pay, for the same are not taken into consideration and are not to be granted to contractual employees. This position will hold good, even after we have dismissed the present writ petition. 14. The decisions rendered in Jagjit Singh, Supra, and Vedwanti and Oz, Supra, have been followed in several other cases. In view of above settled position of law, we are of the item number 28, C5 considered opinion that since applicant stands on the same footing, the OA deserves to be allowed. 15. We, accordingly, allow the OA in the impugned order dated the 12th of March 2018 as quashed and set aside, to the extent that minimum of pay scales have been implemented. The applicant shall be entitled to be paid the salary at the minimum of the pay scale, pay band of the respective post along with dearness allowance and other emoluments payable to a newly recruited regular TGT. The respondents are directed to pay the salary to the applicant accordingly forthwith. She shall also be entitled to the arrears of pay, emoluments from the date of filing of the OA, i.e. the 23rd of March 2018, but without interest. This order shall be complied with by the respondents within a period of 3 months from the date of receipt of a copy of this order. However, there shall be no order as to costs. Dr. Anand S. Katti, Manish Garg, Member A, Member J. Jyoti. Indian Qanun,